claimed. The ones that are claimed are many, but the ones that were tasked as eligible.
So you have another list of ineligible pending bills?
There is ineligible pending bills, yes, under the report that we received from the task force that we put together. This has been availed to the contractors.
So why are we, if they are ineligible through your processes, why are they still in our books?
They are not in our books, no. It is a separate list. I'm just mentioning this because of you mentioned earlier about the pressure and the petitions that you had received. That's why I was mentioning that.
So is the pressure coming from those on the ineligible list or the ones on the eligible list?
Both. Both. There are those who feel strongly that they submitted bills, but they know, they have been informed that they are ineligible. So both groups continue to put pressure.
If you as head of a government, using whatever systems, you have gone through this process and said that X is a list of ineligible bills, which other institution can change that position?
The vetting process ended there.
So, because, you know, these things must be brought to a close. If it is ineligible through your processes, and maybe you need to describe what that process was, because you cannot carry ineligible bills and have them hanging in the air for 3-4 years. In this financial year, Auditor General, we have moved to accrual from cash basis, and therefore pending bills will be treated in a different manner. Do we expect the county of Homa Bay to carry the ineligible bills in the balance sheet?
Maybe share this requires some guidance, because if they have confirmed and it has been indicated that it's ineligible, and probably even the contractor has not provided the required, there's a process they have gone through in terms of even confirming the work they have done, or maybe even the documentations. So that brings the issue of the separations, because how do you bring them as payable if probably the documentation itself is also missing? Or maybe the vetting process has confirmed that the work has not also been done, because it's a process that has been done by the management.
Yeah, so
Chair, can I say something about these pending bills before Senator? I thought this matter had been canvassed at Kitale High Court, that the people who should only verify, and I wish the governor was listening, and it's good the county attorney is here. I don't know whether, Governor, you are aware when Governor of Trans Nzoia tried to form a verification pending bills committee, the courts ruled that in Kitale High Court that it is only the OAG who has the verification of pending bills. So my question would be, during that time when you formed a task force, did you form a task force before that decision came into play? And now that you have indicated the eligible and eligible pending bills, how many in that task force report, if you could be kind enough to provide us a copy, and tell this committee which are eligible pending bills and eligible pending bills, and whether the OAG was involved in the task force report in terms of verification of the pending bills. And I would like to know whether your county attorney did advise you on the implications of that decision. Because I think the OAG, Muriuki, you still maintain that you are the only constitutional recognized body that you can only verify. So on these account payables, through the chair, on these accountable payables on pending bills, were you capturing what you from the raw data that were provided through financial statements that the entity provided, or what was the essence? That because the governor now is saying there is a report they did and they were paying as per that report, yet in the OAG report, where is the nexus? Maybe the OAG can go first and then the governor through the chair.
Okay. Yeah, so let's understand the process and then confirm whether it's in line with the court ruling in Kitale. So, but that should be described by the governor, isn't it?
Whether the OAG participated in the entire process.
In the verification.
Yeah.
OAG?
Sure, we didn't participate through the vetting of those pending bills, especially for the contractors.
Okay. Governor, what was the process that you instituted?
Yeah. Chair, we, as many counties did, we did institute a task force, which I appointed and gazetted, that made a public call in the newspapers for anybody who had pending bills to submit. The committee was made out of senior, auditors and other very senior professionals. All the contractors submitted their bills, the ones that, and you are told to submit bills and documents, which they did. The audit committee then looked through the documents. They also took the documents from the county that were there. They looked through all of them. They went round the projects. They went round the projects. If you say you did a road or a toilet or whatever it is, they went round and checked all those projects. And I think they were able to go around to about 85% of the projects. Then they did a report, which was made public to the contractors. And then there was an appeal window that was also given for contractors who felt that their contracts were ineligible. This was done together with our internal audit department. And I wanted the attorney to speak to the issue of the case, because I remember when we were back here in the Senate when the issue of the case came up, but we had already concluded our processes by then. But attorney, please intervene on the case and how it affected our process.
Before attorney comes on board, so what was the number that was deemed to be ineligible before attorney talks to the process?
I don't have it off the top of my head, but I want the team to get it from the report.
Okay, then the attorney can proceed as they verify that.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I want to point out that this task force was appointed way back. It must have been in late 2022, just immediately after Excellency took over office. That was way before the decision on Kitale was handed down. Chair, even after the decision in Kitale was handed down, Chair, when we were here before you last year, I think, we had a debate on this matter as well. And Chair, you remember the direction was that, yes, what the court in Kitale said was that the issue of verification as to the viability of bills lies with the audit process. Now, at the time, what the court said is that that has to be done by the external auditor or the internal auditor. Now, our process, and in fact, by the time, the reason why we are delayed in implementing that process at the time was that we were of the view that perhaps now our internal auditor needs to now take it to the OAG. But we got the advisory from here that we could be able to complete that process based on the report that was done by our internal audit department, Chair. That was the process that we went through from a legal point of view, interpreting the decision in Kitale.
So, do you have the figure for what was ineligible?
Yes, Chairman. What was ineligible was 1,094,796.
1 billion?
94,796.
So, from where you sit as a CEO, because I think we are in agreement that there is no other institution or body that is better suited to determine what is eligible and what is ineligible at the county level, beside the governor, with the oversight of the Office of the Auditor General. So why are we still having this conversation over the 1 billion if your processes have established that they are not valid claims?
We have made it very clear. We have made the report public. So those who continue to, this I just mentioned in the context of some of the people who may still be claiming to be having pending bills, yet they know very well that when they go through the report is voluminous and public. Everybody who submitted their claim is in that report. And the reason for ineligibility is also given. So we are not entertaining any ineligible costs. I only mentioned it in the context of some people who are still agitating, but on the basis of ineligible bills. But according to us as a government, the bills that we have are the ones that were declared eligible by the committee and our internal audit processes, as was guided by this committee. Thank you.
Okay, Senator Vice Chair.
Yeah, Chair, my question would be to the Governor on the challenges of not paying these pending bills. The list that is provided here is a list of eligible pending bills. I'm looking at the list, Chair, and I'm looking at some very small figures dating back in 2023. Like there are some small mechanics who run garages, like it's not paginated, but it is in...
Is it in the payment plan or in the outstanding...
in 5B.
5B, outstanding list?
Yes, in the outstanding list. Now it's not paginated. I will not verify you
or
the actual page.
They are raw numbers.
But there's a garage called Gamba Motors Garage, which incurred a bill on 30th October 2023 for a motor vehicle repair, and they're supposed to be paid 8,944. 8,944. This must be a Juakali mechanic. Up to now, he or she has not been paid. The next one is Vene Auto Spares and Services. He's supposed to be paid 362,000. And so many others, 45,000, you know. Governor, what is the challenge? Because in this year under consideration, we had met our revenue target in terms of on-source revenue. And so in the subsequent year, we would have done even budgets, supplementary budgets, and paid these people. These are very poor people in Homa Bay. What is the challenge here, Governor?
Governor, the small, those very small bills.
Yeah, I agree.
And I believe that these are eligible.
These are eligible bills.
So there's no question as to their authenticity.
Yes, these are eligible bills, and that should have been paid. As you realize, Chairman, through you, we did pay bills up to 642 million in this last year, and the fiscal space only did allow that. What I want to agree with you on is we should prioritize the very small bills and finish with them, which is what we are also trying to do. The very, very small bills, finish with them, and you move. The only thing sometimes is a bill like 8,000 should be sorted at the departmental level using departmental operations. So sometimes somebody has processed it, yet it is a bill of 8,000. That means that a department has taken their car to the garage. They have a departmental operation that they should use to clear that kind of bill. So we should prioritize the smaller bills. That is very, very well noted, and that is what we are trying to do. But in this last financial year, we tried to pay the 642. The fiscal space is the challenge.
And I think this was just a random observation by the senator from Taita Taveta. But if this is a Gamba Motors garage that I know, is the proprietor recently passed on? I think so. So it is very sad that... I hope not. but it's I mean, so the small claimants really should be prioritized.
I think, Chair, what the governor is saying, I think we should put emphasis on it. I know there could be that challenge of the aging analysis, that yes, it could be little amount of money, but just incurred yesterday, but there's huge amount of money incurred many years ago. But honestly, for small bills like these ones, you could just make a policy that for bills below this amount of money, just clear those bills. You don't have a garage owner, sitting outside your office, claiming to, waiting to be paid 8,000 shillings. When they actually pass on before they even get the money. It's not a good thing.
Senator Bashir, Senator Cherargei?
Chair, I concur with my colleagues, and I think your finance department should at least prepare. I've seen you are prepared how you will pay your pending bills, but why don't they prepare and prioritize the small bills? Because at the end of the day, so that you pay these people who are being owed 40,000 shillings, 50,000 shillings, 8,000 shillings. This governor issued 64,000. This was former cleaning, supply of cleaning materials, 64,900 in the schedule that you are provided. What is the long-term solution? Because we don't want governor and all of us who are stakeholders and defenders of the devolution, is that it is very sad that counties have turned now into a graveyard of many businesses. Many people are dying, people are diabetic, they receive pressure. Chair, and I was very saddened to see the contractors from your county being frustrated, Chair. Would it be, Governor, can you become innovative so that we don't see some of these unnecessary sideshows that people have to go to media for their issues to be addressed? So I hope in this financial year, I agree there could be the issue of supplementary budget, the issue of budgeting, but now that you are meeting, I think one of my colleagues have noted the own source revenue targets, you are meeting them. This should be easy for you to ensure that you dispense of the issue of pending bill. So, Governor, at least when you go back, this, I know most of the contractors in our counties are organized. At least with your finance department, can they give a breakdown and tell them that you need, you know, these are your people, tell them that you need to pay the smaller bills of 64,000, 100,000, then people who are being owed millions and millions of shillings, then they can be paid. Governor, maybe just as an upshot, as of today, because what we are seeing is financial year 2023-22, the response you gave, is it the status of the pending bill of Homa Bay County as of today? The response that you have given in your statement, or how much is your government being owed? And Chair, I noticed that the governor was opening a brand new county headquarters. Wow, is it the contractors complaining part of the people, or the new county headquarters? Has it been paid off in full? Because I really want to know the difference, because we are trying to bring the comparison between, was it Akoba, the man who used to become sick when he was supposed to appear before Park, but you see him in BBI rallies dancing like never before. So I want to know, in this county headquarters, for example, which you have opened and is in public domain, so it is zero, no one is being owed in that. They build and give you the key, so no one owes you. So that we know the difference in terms of the pending bills. I yield, Chair.
Okay, Senator Gataya.
Chair, thank you, Chair. I think I captioned, Chair, talk of somebody, one of the garage owners who recently passed on. I don't know whether it was stress related because of these debts. And I captured the governor talk of departmental structures where these small bills are supposed to be settled. Do you have those structures where maybe you can advance some AIs to departments? Maybe they can sort those small bills instead of, because I don't imagine why a small garage owner in the small suburbs of Homa would wait for 3 years to be paid 8,000 shillings. I don't know, these people are maybe living on some under mouth.
Governor?
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, starting with Senator Gataya's question on the departmental structures, yes, we advance some AIs to the departments where they're able to pay the small, they should be able to pay the small bills, so that should be possible. And Chairman, the pending bills question, I think it's a national question, and it's a problem that we are facing, that we have to deal with through engaging with our associations, which is what we have been doing continuously, engaging with the Association of Contractors, and continuing to draw plans through which we can pay the bills to the best of our ability. In terms of the county headquarters, it's a current bill. We have an agreement for which we are paying for the county headquarters. It's not a pending bill, it's a current bill, and we have paid quite a bit of it, and we continue to pay for it. It's not a pending bill. Thank you, Chairman.
Yeah, so just to
Chair, maybe before she leaves that, who is this? Why don't you just disclose who financed, maybe before Wambua you come on board, who financed the construction of the county headquarters? And
Chairman,
would you be kind enough to provide the contract engagement with the provider, whether the financing or financing that did the county headquarters?
There's a substantive issue in this report about the county headquarters, which we are coming to. We can deal with it at that point.
Chair, we can chew the gum as we scale the stairs.
It's okay. We'll end up mixing issues and get lost. So let's.
She can hold that one.
Yes, she can hold that one. We deal with it there. Senatepubilc.
Chair, because I heard the governor say something very important about our pending bills. And I agree with her that this is a national problem. It's a big problem. So Governor, from where you sit, because you're also a national leader, is this situation getting better or is it getting worse? Any bills are issue?
I think we need a national discussion on the pending bills question. We have the team that was auditing the national pending bills and some that have audited ours. We have made proposals, for example, if we could have even bulk payment to counties so that we are able to sort the pending bills that have, existed, and then we can, over time, on our equitable share, it can be retained so that we can create circulation of money in the economy. I think we have to look at the budget in question and whether we meet our on-source revenue targets according to budget. So that we're able to resolve the issue of the pending bills. It is a big question. I think we are, I don't know, I think we are where we are where we are with it. It's a big question.
Chair, I asked that question because, honestly, and these are conversations we can have as leaders. Pending bills are incurred within budgets. Governments have budgets. They run budgets. So by the time that we are saying a single county government has a pending bill of 1.5 billion Kenya shillings, which in some cases is even more than their annual expenditure on development. So how do we find ourselves there? I hear in Nairobi, Chair, and we are not auditing Nairobi, but I hear in Nairobi we have now over 107 billion Kenya shillings in pending bills. So when we say then the National Treasury should perhaps advance some money to counties to offset pending bills, how do we even get there in the first place? Governor, I say that because when I look at the pending bills for Homa Bay, and it is a case for any other county, and every contractor in town is complaining, I have not been paid, I need this money to be paid. But a determination has been made by your county and other counties that what you are claiming is not eligible for payment. How do we get out of this problem that we have found ourselves in? It's a big conversation, I agree with you.
Governor, do you want to respond? But that was for emphasis. So the facts are as follows, that you had 1.19 billion as pending bills. You have paid 620 million. 620 million. Auditor General, that's verifiable, that they have settled 620 million out of the 1.19 billion.
Yes, Chair, that's verifiable.
So that leaves a balance of 571 million.
Yes.
And you have a payment plan for that runs into 5 quarters. Why 5 quarters and not 4 quarters?
We were looking at the fiscal space in the year 25-26, and we were able to accommodate all of it, less 148 million. So we will accommodate 148 million in the first quarter of 26-27. Thank you, Chair.
How do you provide certainty to the suppliers? Because so how do I know if I've got a pending bill, whether I'll be paid in the financial year 2026-2027 or in the first quarter of 2025-2026? How do you manage that? Because perhaps that is part of the problem that is causing some agitation. Nobody knows when theirs will be paid, yet you acknowledge that they are going to be paid.
What we're going to do with this payment plan, according to how we've agreed with the controller of budget, is on an aging basis for their bills, so that we finish with the ones that we had earlier as we go to the ones that we had later. That is the arrangement that we have, and we have provided even the names of the contractors to the controller of budget, the specifics.
Because the document-headed payment plan is not really a payment plan. It's a listing of all the pending bills, starting with a very curious figure of 450 million, 450 million. You've seen that? As bank overdraft for salary. So the question is, how much of this relates to statutory deductions? SACCOs, KRA.
We don't owe KRA, apart from that salary that we owe the bank. We don't owe
Savings and credit cooperatives.
Yeah, I was just saying that, Chairman, we are up to date on our KRA payments.
Maybe, Chair, if I'm just to ask, is it possible to know, in terms of disaggregating the pending bills, which ones are from operations and which ones are from development expenditure? Is it possible to have that disaggregation? And then number two, do we have any staff payables, like loans deducted but not remitted to the third parties? Number three, Governor, there are ineligible pending bills, quite some substantial amount.
1 billion.
1 billion. I'm not very sure if people can claim 1 billion with no work or services rendered at all. So maybe you can give us an inkling of what constitutes ineligible pending bills. In 2019, I think, or 2020, we had a county saying that they have ineligible pending bills, but when you go on the ground, a hole has been constructed. Maybe what is just missing is an invoice. An invoice can miss because procurement officer or an accountant has decided to just remove it from the file. Did you give them opportunity maybe for reconstruction of those documents or of the files, so that if a building has been done, a project has been done to the specifications, and it is there for use by the people of Homa Bay, then that person can be paid that bill? Thank you, Chair.
On the Vice Chair, for example, and thank you for bringing that up, Governor. If a road was done in 2021, 22, or 22, 23, and that road somewhere in Kaspul, there has been heavy rains. So they put maram and what have you. But when your committee, verification pending committee, visited the road, the grass has overgrown because the rains have been heavy, it has been swept off. And you know, members of National Assembly where you serve sometimes are mischievous. They have put their billboard to say this road is being done by Kera. You are contracted. How do you prove such? Because for some people or some of your businessmen, in, for example, in your county, Homa Bay, the county of endless potential, to claim 1 billion that you have given us and zero, was it 1 billion and something, and some cents, to come up and say we are being owed by the county government of Homa Bay 1 billion plus. Governor, did it at some point strike you as it did not disturb you? Or what was the basis of the report? As the Vice Chair has asked, is it because maybe an invoice was missing, or when your people went on the ground? For example, you have sub-county road engineers that are supervisors, or there were no reports, or there were no certificates of completion. What constituted your committee for saying 1 billion is ineligible? Was it, what is it, Chair, so that we can get the picture? Thank you.
Governor, a brief response.
Thank you, Chairman. In terms of what constituted ineligible bills, a big part of it was legal, where we had a company like, I think, Nyauke & Co. claiming about 150 million. But when we looked at the committee looked at the cases, no appearances were entered by the lawyers. The cases were lost. So a lot of those were considered ineligible. When it came to projects, when the committee went round, they didn't stop at a road being washed. They asked the community, when was the last time this road was done? And they just asked around, and this was a very independent committee from us. They asked, the non-people said, no, we've never seen any tractor on this road. And you